How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a new series on my channel, a Learn How to Build Minecraft School Building series. This is a series where I will take your guys' ideas or your builds and make them, I believe, better if you need help. Other than that, what we're doing today for our first episode is we are going to take a look at some builds I got from a server. I just built the front of them, and then I'm going to explain to you guys or just show you like what's wrong with them. Obviously you'll know something's wrong, but then I'll explain it in a little bit more detail what exactly is wrong with them, and then we will get into what we could do to make them better. So let's see, let's go to the first one right here. So this was just on a server I randomly found, and I don't want to be mean, but we have to go over this. Okay, first things first. You should probably never build with diorite. Diorite is a fail of a block, and you can ask anybody. It's just not something you can make look good. This glass, it's not what you want to do, and I'm not no expert. I will never claim to be an expert at this until, I actually go to school for it. But I was in art for 5 years in high school, or not 5 years, but 4 years, and then I took an extra independent class. My second year, I had to study architecture. So it's not like I don't know anything about it. I actually know quite a bit about architecture. But the main thing here is, look from reference. It doesn't matter what artist it is. Everything comes from somewhere. This came from the deep, dark depths of hell. But basically, if you're trying to build, the first tip I have for you guys is look at some actual buildings and then try to replicate it in Minecraft. It's very, very simple, but when you can do that and then you start practicing like that, that's when you can really make things from your own imagination and make things look good, even though if they're not, let's see, plausible in the real world. So with this, basically this window just doesn't have any place being here. I did redo this one, but there's no windows. To be honest, I would just take the windows out and leave it like this and like that. It just would make it so much better. But we are going to look at the one I did kind of in place of it. So I did this kind of style for basically the rest on down. However, especially when you're building, and I know you've heard this a million times before, but put detail into your builds. Upside down stairs is a very good way of doing that. Slabs as well, and maybe some blocks even. This one was a little bit of a tough one because these blocks do not go very well in any build, I don't think. Maybe for like a floor. But other than that, you can look at these and you can say, okay, well, how would I like wrap this around? And each side is different. The front is going to be, a lot different from the side. And there's going to be different windows. There's going to be different things. But make sure your things have detail. Look how flat this is. This is flat as a board. Look how flat this is. Okay, that's flat. But you look like right here, there's everything going on. This is not flat. There's stuff up there. I lied. But tip number 2 is look at a color wheel. Okay? This has to do with like block choices. So for this one, it's a white and with gray mixed in with a dark. Very good color choice in terms of building. However, this block just does not look good. You can take, let's say, a bone block. Let's try a bone block here. This is new for 1.10, so I'm sure you have seen it already. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, the back don't matter. But what does matter is this. So already you can tell, get out of here, get out of town. There we go. Oh, there we go. So right off the bat, I think this looks a lot better. The new bone blocks have kind of a creamy outside. And with this, it just looks a lot better than that cookies and cream block, and it has a much better feel. It almost has a warm feeling. And for the color wheel, I'm gonna post a picture in the top right corner of a color wheel right now. And basically, what the main thing you want to make sure you do is never take a color from, let's take the color yellow for example. You see the color yellow at the top. Never take that color with its opposite. Okay, so yellow straight down is violet. So basically with that, it just doesn't look great. Let me put my phone down so I can look at the color wheel, and then let's get a hardened clay, and let's get this yellow, let's get this purple, and then maybe what we can do is we can get the let's see, go here, go all the way down. Let's get one of these blocks. So right here, this doesn't look that terrible, but it's also just a little bit too much. They're too opposite of the spectrum. This is a very light, warm color. This is a very light. It's just a very light color, and this is a very dark and warm color. This is also a warm color, but that's because of the hardened clay. So that's why it works, is because it's a warm yellow. But say we take this. Now that just looks horrible. That is absolutely disgusting. But if we take this, I mean, sure, it doesn't look fantastic, but it doesn't look nearly as bad as this. If we did something like this, it's just not a good idea. But with this, we have two opposite of the spectrum. This is a dark warm color. This is a light color. Kind of creamy too, so it makes it just look a lot better. So let's get this disgusting stuff out of my inventory. So let's move on to this one. Okay. So sure, the windows, they're not as like weird as that pattern. They're kind of in a line, and they're symmetrical. But you kind of have and this is also not the greatest block, but it's not horrible. I have seen some actually really good builds with it. But the issue here, I believe, is not a lot of attention to detail. I see a lot of builds when I go into servers, when someone, I'm not trying to be a just someone who's kind of trying to put people down, but people who build like this don't really understand architecture that well, and that's not a bad thing because it's very easy to learn. You have to start somewhere. There's a point where I didn't know, and I probably built like this. I don't know. I've been playing Minecraft for so long. But the main thing you want to do on this is just pay more attention to detail. You can take out the windows. Not every building has to have windows right in the front. And I'll show you an example like this. This is kind of the same as that. But here we have still the oak and still the oak logs, and then we have the diorite not diorite, polished granite. Back one, same thing on the corners, and the logs just gives it more things to look at. This, you're kind of just looking at one big blob. But this, you're looking at something detailed and something that doesn't look terribly bad. So you could do even something like this with the roof and make it go up. So something like this, where you can still see that granite and it still kind of has that interest, but it's like going up. Okay, on to the next one, and this one isn't really a build. I just took these two and wanted to show that off because I want this series to be very short, very to the point. This is an example of what you can do to give your build's atmosphere. So these two are very close in the color spectrum. Very, very close, and it's not something that I would build with often. However, if I was building a town, say like a Halloween town or something, where we got pumpkins. Let's see. Actually, no. Let's go here. Let's go to decoration blocks. It's just called a jack-o'-lantern, right? Ooh, spelled that wrong. Jack-o'-lantern. Where it's something like this. Oh, why? Why you do that to me, baby? So, I mean, yeah, the jack-o'-lanterns look horrible, but it looks horrible with any build, so don't worry. I could stand corrected on that one, so I'm not gonna say that. But say it's something like this, where it's like a Halloween town. It gives it a very dark feeling, and when you're building with whatever you're doing, I would suggest thinking of, okay, like a story. Okay, can I do this, please? I can't do this? I always thought you could. Okay. Well, then I'll just do this. Sir, I want to give this place some life for my viewers. Alright, here we go. Nope. There we go. That looks horrible. It's just quick. But what this is doing is it's giving a very dark feeling, and that's kind of what stone does a lot, and this nether brick does. It gives it a very dark, ominous feeling, and the dark oak wood accents that perfectly. Now, with the same style of build, the same bricks, but with a different block here and here. Let's see what kind of feeling that gives. Okay, so with the red hardened red stained clay, this gives a kind of, okay, let's see. Time set day. Oh my gosh, time set day. There we are. This gives more of a warm feeling, not such a dark and ominous, but a welcoming feeling. And it's because of the difference of blocks here. Now this, the dark brown, and the not a light red, kind of more of a dark, not a lot of hue. And what I mean by hue is, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at, let's see, it's over here. They don't really have a blue per se, but this is pretty close. Take a look at this and this. Okay, so the hue is kind of that shiny feeling. It's something in the eyes. I don't know the exact science behind it, but it's something in the eyes that makes you think, okay, so this is kind of bland, and this is like, it's just all in the hue, in the color. With this low hue and this kind of, it's not intricate, but it's definitely a lot more design inside. It gives it that warm feeling, and that's exactly what you want from your builds. You don't want people to come up to your building and say, oh yeah, that's welcoming. Yeah, let's go in there. This guy knows what he's doing. Yeah, good building. Good building. Okay. Yeah, 10 out of 10. Now, and even this isn't even perfect. Like, I'm not a professional by any means, but it's better than average. It's above average. And, you know, sure, your house might not be perfect. Sure, the roof may be crooked. And, you know, but it's all within your own style. With art, with everything, with architecture, it doesn't matter what it is. In art and architecture, because art and architecture are very, very similar, everything is in your own style. I have my own style of building, and so does like a popular YouTuber, builder, B-double-O, can't say that right. Everyone has their own different style. And eventually, if you keep practicing with stuff like this, where, you know, you're trying to give a story or a meaning behind your builds, it will make your builds come alive, and people will see that. And that's why I would suggest, like, I'm not perfect, but I would suggest going and watching B-double-O. He's a very good builder in the Minecraft realm. Well, he was a contractor, so I mean that kind of helps him out. But he's a very good builder. I have learned a lot from him, and he also kind of agrees that, you know, you have an evolution of your own style, and he even had his evolution of his own style. He didn't start off as a great builder. He actually got help from a YouTuber that's actually on a building team. So, nonetheless, I'm rambling on a little bit. If you guys enjoyed this first episode and would like to see more, hit that like button, comment down below. Send me your builds. I will link my Twitter down below. If you take a picture of your build and send it to me, I will build it quickly in creative, and then on the next episode, I will feature you. I'll even put your name in the video. And other than that, I appreciate all the support you guys give me. Go and check out my Minecraft survival building series. That's where I do my own builds of like kingdoms, and there's a lot of lore that I'm trying to get into. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. This is J-Boogie, and just remember, Boogie down.